That's the thing, like, I'm talking to a girl right now, and I'm trying to like be like, get to that, like, we get to the point in conversation where just like, I should really like, be like, hey, do you want to actually like
Get
meet
a
up?
coffee or something?
Yeah, but I'm like, I started talking to her like 2 days ago, and was like,
That's enough
my
time.
next day off is next Tuesday.
Oh, that's a long time.
Exactly. So it's like, I got this
That's
weekend.
a lot of, the issue is for you, Ricky, it's a lot of thinking time. It's a lot of
thinking time for her to reconsider.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a lot of thinking time for me to overthink the situation, and it's a lot of thinking time just for both of us to be like, what?
I bought you roses, but then I thought that was too much, so then I took them back. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I love you. I mean,
flowers on a first date, especially like a Tinder date. Is that a yay or a nay from you?
Dude, I think it's a total nay.
It's
That's
definitely
a big fucking
total
nay.
My mate did it.
Oh my God.
My mate brought flowers to a first date.
Move. I can see where he's coming from. He's like,
Yeah.
the girl's not going to expect it. It's
Exactly. It's going to make me stand out. But like immediately, like I was staying at his house.
Jobber.
I was staying at his house at the time. He went on the date. He came back. And as we're like sitting down dissecting the date, he gets a message from her at like that moment, and just like, look, I think you're nice, but I don't think this is going to go anywhere.
Did
Like,
he message back, was it the flowers?
No, he didn't. But we gave him enough flack for giving her flowers that we just assumed it was probably
Was
the
he
flowers.
literally, was he doing the general play-by-play that you would run for a first date? If you ask her heaps of questions, you would always be super tentative.
They'd been like talking on Tinder for a bit, and I think it got to the point where it was like, you probably should have met up like maybe a week ago.
Yeah, it's a little bit too... You've
sparred
on a
so
little
when
bit
you
too
get
long.
to the date, unless you've got like a real good talking point, you've probably covered all the first date stuff in the conversation. And that's what you don't want to do. You don't want to like get all the first date shit out of the way before you meet them, because then when you get to the date, you got nothing. Unless you're doing something else. If it's just dinner, you're going to struggle to find stuff to talk about. That's why it was like dinner and a movie. Movie then dinner. Because you can talk about the movie at dinner.
It is true. I think what a lot of people aren't comfortable with is silence.
I'm going to write a book.
And not being not being comfortable to be able to sit in front of face to face with someone one-on-one.
Yes.
And if you don't have a thought to say, you just sit there in silence.
My comeback to that is, wow, this is awkward. Why can't people talk to each other? And then that spurs another conversation.
It is 100% correct. No, for sure.
Sometimes. It has a pretty high failure rate.
Flowers is a very... What kind... Do you know the type of flowers he...
I don't know. They're probably just roses or some shit, man.
I would love if...
It's pretty basic. They're daffodils or some shit.
I waited outside her house. She wasn't expecting. But
I bought my jukebox and played Say Anything.
She immediately forgot her keys and went back inside.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. But
it's not a smart move.
Like flowers on what date?
When you feel like it's getting intimate. Like
Okay.
Flowers on a date is especially...
It's a bold move.
It's a bold move.
It is a bold move.
Everyone seems to be allergic to everything these days as well.
Yes, that's a good point.
And you're just not quite sure. Like, imagine that. Imagine bringing, like, here's some tulips, and then they go, oh, no, my face just blew up from the swelling.
I mean, there's that, but also, like, it's a lot of responsibility. You know
Well,
what I mean?
those tulips are mainly cut.
You're handing a living creature over to a person you barely know.
He's going to put them in a vase and watch them die in 3 days.
Exactly right. So
Not
like,
gonna re-water them or anything.
but nobody wants to make. Nobody wants flowers to die. So what you've essentially said is, I'm giving you the responsibility of caring for a living creature
I don't
on
care
the
if fucking flowers
first
die.
date. It's like, hang on a minute, like I barely even fucking know you, and
tell you
you're
what's-
already planning our long-term future at this
like
point.
giving
Like,
I've just thought about what
that's a long message.
What would be worse? Giving your first date a succulent.
No.
Do you know what that is, John?
yeah. They're
Like those little plants that you don't take.
My mum bought me one and I killed it.
How did you kill one? That's the
pretty
point.
good effort.
That's the point of succulents is that they need minimal...
Very minimal
I
care.
know. No,
Yeah, minimal keeping.
my mum growing up was always trying to get me into two things, music and gardening, because she wanted me to be the white yo-yo ma, right? So she and at the same time she liked gardening, and she wanted me into gardening so that she could have someone to talk to about it, because my sister was like, fuck that, right? So I was like her last hope, but I'm also her oldest, so like go figure. But like, so she bought me a succulent. She's like, all right, like we went to Garden World, and she's like, this is a plant. I don't know what kind of a succulent it was. It was it had thorns, is all I remember. It was flat and it had thorns, and she was like, you can't fucking kill this thing. I'm like, cool,
Try me.
I'm here once every other weekend for 2 days. Right, and that's it. And I don't even know how much to water, because I was like, well, I don't know how to water this thing. And she was like, I don't know, figure it out. It's not hard. Great.
What's the measurement?
Yeah.
What do you mean? What's the measurement? Well, how do I know how much cups I'm meant to use?
Yeah. This is
half a cup.
And by the way, keep in mind, this is like in the days before the internet being like everywhere was a thing.
You can't just go, "Hey Google."
No. If I wanted to know how much it was to water this succulent, I would have had to go over to a computer, make sure that my mother's boyfriend wasn't on the internet at the same time, then dial up onto the internet, which took about 5 or 6 tries because it often didn't work.
Even you just saying dial up,
Yeah.
just immediately puts the sound in my head.
Yeah,
It just brings me nightmares.
And I was running, and even though, yeah, and even then we had a really sweet. I think it wasn't a 56K connection. I think it was the one up from that. I think it was 128.
Oh, big boy.
Yeah, we had a 128K
Big
connection,
boy.
right? But even then, it
You
took.
can hear your modem fan going.
Oh yeah.
That's quick internet.
Yeah. Oh, bro, we had the turbos going. It was great. But so I'd have to do that, and then only then would I have to wait 5 minutes for Google to load for me to enter the search and then find the website. The website would have to then wait to load to then read the fucking article to realize it's all fucking fake news anyway. That's why I killed the fucking plant, especially because you bought it for me at the start of summer and we didn't have an air conditioner, so it was like 40 degrees in my room, dry, and even though it's a pretty hardy plant, plants need a little bit of moisture every now and again, or else they will die.
It's a living thing. Everything living needs a bit of attention.
Yeah,
Even
yeah.
non-living things. Sometimes need some
and my mother
attention.
never went into my room because it was a fucking bomb site because I was a child and I was a messy child. Go figure.
Well, yeah, that happens.
I think it's plants as a gift are just quite strange. I feel because imagine giving someone a Venus flytrap.
You're giving someone a responsibility.
That's what I said.
It's like I don't trust
Fuck
you.
that.
I don't trust you with something actually alive like a pet. But here's a plant.
Yeah.
Second best, buddy. Here you go.
Yeah,
Hey.
that's right.
Here's a jukebox to go with it.
Yeah, and we do this on the first date. So it's I feel like it must have come from okay, if you can look after it's like if you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. If you can look after these flowers for X period of time, you are then able to look after a child for 18 years. Is that where it comes from?
That's a big jump.
That's what everyone's assumption with a puppy is. You get a puppy when you move in together. It's
Yeah.
if we can look after this, we can probably look after a child. No. 2 different things. 2 very different things.
Yeah, puppies.
Puppies learn how to shit in the right spot after about 3 months.
Yeah.
You got to spend 2.5 years with the child.
Yeah.
Telling it or working out how to get it to work out itself. to shit in the right fucking spot,
Yeah.
not on itself.
Yeah.
Into a diaper.
Your dog's just looking at you with the big wispy eyes, just like it wasn't
Exactly.
me. I didn't know.
Babies can't do puppy eyes to make you forgive them quickly.
Oh no, they can.
Can they?
They really can.
I've never been around a baby.
Oh
so-
no, no. That bit that's actually no. They genuinely can.
Babies are charming.
Are they?
They really
At
are.
times.
Are they?
Yes.
At times.
Yes.
Are they?
Yes.
At times.
Yeah.
Okay,
as someone who basically helped raise one of my younger sisters from when she was basically the day she was born. Yeah, they can do the puppy eyes thing. They don't always know they're fucked up though. That's the thing. They do it all the time. That's the thing. They don't know whether they're fucked up or not. So they'll just do it all the time to be just in case I fucked up. It's you haven't fucked up. You just you moved your hand from here to here. You didn't do anything. It just moved it through the air. Oh, but I'm so cute. That's all they do all the time. But then they'll do the same thing when they shit themselves.
Goes, oh well, it's not me today.
That's the one thing I never did though. I never changed a nappy. And
Just refuse, just dead refusal.
you got to remember, I was a 15.
No.
I was 15. And so for me, I was I'm too young for this. I'm barely out of nappies myself. That was actually the excuse I gave to my mum.
How can you expect me to do this?
That's what I said.
Your mum's just how old do you think you are?
Well, I only just potty trained myself yesterday, apparently.
I finally worked it out. I got the seat down and everything. Woo! You're 14, John.
That's how I fucking got out
Or
of it.
people with a spring-loaded toilet base.
Yes.
But also, because of my heightened sense of smell, it's even more atrocious for me than it is for anybody else.
Apparently, the human person you can enjoy your own
the
smell.
human person.
The human person.
The human person.
It's not about my smell at that point. It's a baby's smell, and that's not good.
Well, apparently a normal person can enjoy their own smells up to 12 minutes, but apparently someone else's, it's literally like bang, like straight away, no go, no dice, you are out of there.
For God's sake, we can't bring up the Kenny movie for a third week in a row.
This is why we're staying. We're teetering on the edge, but we're gonna back away.
No,
now.
it's okay. It's okay. We're gonna move away from it. With that, welcome to Pint Party, a podcast designed to turn a beer and a chat into a tax write-off. I'm your host, John McLeish, and joining me once again is the Gimmick Game back in most of their full glory. Ricki and Lochie Beasley, boys, welcome.
Hello.
Hi, Ricki. Hi, John.
Hello.
Hi, John. Hi, Lachlan.
We'll move on from that. I want to talk about the TV show Goop, right?
Oh, this is the Gwyneth Paltrow thing?
The Gwyneth Paltrow thing,
Dude,
because it fucking annoys the shit out of me.
Please,
I have no.
I watched
idea.
the trailer and it irritated me. So go.
Oh, it irritated me even more.
Did you watch it?
The first episode?
Okay,
yeah.
go.
I was like, this is fucking bullshit.
Give me a word picture of the first episode. What is it?
Paint me a scene.
Rich white women talk about themselves and then go, oh, by the way, we also tried this weird kooky thing.
Cool.
That's it.
Wait, is this the vagina candle deal?
So that's part of it. That's what I want to bring up. So
all right, let's talk about vagina candles.
Do they just do fads, like kind of like health fads?
But all the fads are made up by Gwyneth Paltrow. She just makes these things. She
just makes shit up.
She just makes shit up, literally.
She thinks something while she's on the toilet, and she's like, "That seems like a good idea."
That's
great
honestly
health benefit.
I am convinced that's how it happens, because one of the biggest trends that she tried to kick off was coffee enemas. She thought that if you poured coffee up your ass, it would clear your skin of acne.
Why?
I don't know.
How did you get from that idea to that
Why
thought?
would it do that? What in any conceivable fucking universe would that fucking happen? Oh my God. Millionaires, stop. You have too much time in your hands. Go get a fucking real job to occupy yourselves when you just have time to think.
Imagine
having
you see like Chris Evans just baristing.
I would love that.
Yeah.
Did you think that'd be for a role though? You wouldn't think that'd just be him like making his ends meet.
Okay, this is my problem.
But Gwyneth Paltrow.
I'll come back to this. I just want to deviate just for a second.
No, go for it.
We had the Super Bowl was previously this week, right? Mm-hmm. And everyone's talking about the halftime show, right?
Yeah.
And everyone's like, oh my God, Shakira and J-Lo, fucking she's 50, she's 30, 43 or 45 or whatever. How good do they look?
And they still got it.
My thought today was, yes, if you had a job where most of your day-to-day was just like you had all the time in the world to just do whatever, you could probably work out a beauty, fitness, and nutrition routine that would allow you to look really good into your 50s. But the regular person is probably not going to look that good into their 50s because they have a fucking day job where they work 8 to 9 hours a day, come home, cook, clean yourself, go to bed, fucking rinse and repeat.
Yep.
Like that is the thing of like people don't really think about that when it comes to like how these celebrities, like you look at fucking what's his name, Keanu Reeves. That dude is 50 some odd years old. He looks fucking great. But aside from his motorcycle business and the acting he does, I'm sure the rest of his time is spent probably in the gym, keeping himself pretty fit, probably with some sort of like, not cosmetically, but like he would have people that would be like, here, use this face cream.
Oh yeah.
Here's a moisturizer.
And they do the work for him to choose that shit. Be like, this is the best for your skin. Instead of me being in fucking Chemist Warehouse looking at the fucking creams being like, I have no idea what any of this means.
Actually,
why is that one $40 and this one is $8? What's the difference?
The best example of all of this though is Tina Turner. Right? She's pushing 80 and she stood on stage and looks the same age as Beyonce.
I know.
Yeah.
Right? And she's and I
Who's
think
the other one that had those fucking fitness tapes back in like the 80s?
Oh, fuck.
God damn. She's like, God damn, it's going to do my head in. I can't think of it.
It doesn't matter.
But she's like 80 odd now,
Yeah.
and she still looks fucking great.
Yeah.
Jane Fonda.
Oh, Jane Fonda.
Jane Fonda.
Yeah.
Jane Fonda is still fucking banging, and she is
Yeah.
in her 80s. But these people have nothing on their hands, but aside from when they're actually at work, like whether it's in a studio doing music, on a movie set, like that is 3 to 4 months of a year, and that is your fucking paycheck for the next for them the next year, but for us like our lifetime.
Yeah.
But like those other months, you're probably getting paid by a studio to look good. Mm-hmm. Like that, Kamal Nanjiani. Mm-hmm. Did you see the photo on Instagram of him?
Yeah, for something.
the Eternals.
Yeah.
Right? Dude is fucking shredded.
Yep.
And this is the guy who always plays like the geeky guy. He's on fucking not IT crowd.
Silicon Valley.
Silicon Valley. Thank you very much. Like the last guy you would expect to be like, oh, that's the guy that's going to get ripped for the new Marvel movie. But he got fucking shredded. But he also said, the only reason I got to this point is A, because Disney paid for everything. My nutritionist, my gym. They paid me to work out. They paid me to go to the gym twice a day in between shooting Silicon Valley. Because apparently in Silicon Valley that he had to like wear multiple layers to hide the fact that he was now insanely
Jacked.
ripped.
Yeah, because he's supposed to be like the stereotype skinny Indian guy.
Just a regular dude, right? So, but he's like, the only reason I got to this point is because Disney, one of the biggest corporations in the world, paid me a bunch of money just to get fit. And this is not going to hang around after the movie. That's it. I'm done. I got a 6-pack. Whoop-de-doo, I'm out. It's the same with like those celebrity, like especially like the female body image thing is like, yes, look up to these women. They are fucking fantastic. Like I did watch a bit of the half. I'm not really. That's not why I watched the goddamn Super Bowl, but I watched a bit of it. And like J-Lo can still perform her ass off. Fucking so can Shakira. Shakira can perform her hips off. But you can't make that the standard because all these women do is perform and then get paid to continue to look the same way they did in their 20s.
Yeah.
I think there's a difference between a Shakira or a J-Lo to a Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yes, I think it's a level of self-awareness.
I think it is. I think because I think they apply because J-Lo, they keep themselves regularly fit because they understand that they need to keep their body finely tuned in order to do their job.
Yeah, they got to perform on stage.
I think Gwyneth, is just pulling these intellectual in quotations ideas just for the sake of it to make a fad. I don't know. You've watched the episode, John.
I derailed.
But
you tied it back in. It's fine.
I mean, for me, like the latest thing that everybody's going nuts about is actually the one thing where I'm like, this is actually the most sensible thing you've ever done, and that's make a vagina scented candle, or as I like to call it, the coochie candle.
They made fun of this.
Can you do me a favor on that laptop?
But here's
can
the
you
thing.
look up the dictionary definition of sensible?
No. But as I'm saying,
you're not using that word right.
In relation to coffee enemas, like
Okay,
a candle that just smells like vaginas, like that's fine. It's like, okay, look, I've seen candles that smell like marijuana. It's sort of like, okay, it's at that
It's
point
a bit of a
just
gimmick.
The difference is marijuana smells nice.
Take your pick of whatever your preference is. It's fine. It's just I don't know how people feel about the idea of setting their yoni on fire, but like that's basically the assumption. But at the same time, realistically though, really what I want to talk about is if you really think about it, the vagina scented candle is just the gamer girl bathwater for middle-aged white women, which is why it'll sell.
Yeah,
it'll sell.
I don't know about that. Only because, like, okay,
if it's sold by Gwyneth,
the gamer girl bathwater is for sweaty neckbeard boys in parents' basements. You know, that whole stereotype, right?
Well, you need to explain. I don't think a lot of audiences don't know what that is.
There's a girl called Belle Delphine. She got really famous on TikTok for doing that.
Twitch as well?
No, just TikTok and Instagram. Yeah, she got banned off Twitch, I think. Not a surprise.
I wonder why.
She does that. She does that fucking anime face.
The Igo face.
Yeah, that's the one. And she got really famous just because she's undeniably a very attractive looking girl. She also has that like she could be fucking 16 or 26 look about her as well, which is a very big trope in anime. And then decided to bathe and then sell the water
to fans
and people. It sold out very quickly.
Yeah, she does a lot of like those kinds of trolly things though. Like she started a Pornhub channel, right, and was like, "Hey, I'm doing porn now." But like all the videos are just they look. All the thumbnails look really filthy, and then one of them's like, "I play with my pussy," and then you click on the video, and it's just her just playing with her cat.
Yeah,
and it's like completely safe for work. Like you could have that up in the middle of the office, and everybody's like, okay, why are you watching a cat video?
Just entering another market, you know.
Yeah. Right.
Anyway,
another platform.
Anyway, it's a weird comparison that you make where it's like, if it was like 45-year-old men buying the vagina candle, I would see your comparison.
No. For me, this is sort of like it's sort of like a power thing. Like people go, yes, if I buy this vagina scented candle,
but it's not Gwyneth's vagina.
See, I don't know.
Whose vagina is it?
I don't know.
Is it just a generic vagina?
They don't smell the same. Each vagina is a unique and special snowflake or flower.
They're all individual.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, they are.
They don't all smell the same.
There's nothing good.
It's
no such thing as generic.
fingerprints. They all smell different.
What is... Yeah, exactly. What is the vagina smell?
Right.
This chat.
I kind of... Look, we're going to get to the bottom of this.
But what are we pulling from this Gwyneth thing?
That was my first assumption. I was like, is the assumption here supposed to be that if I buy this candle, I will know what Gwyneth Paltrow's vagina smells like?
Is it the fact that Gwyneth Paltrow is making vagina candles and selling them to people that's irritating you?
No,
or is it the fact that...
I mean, that irritates me.
It's just the trend right
now.
What
irritates me that anything that Gwyneth Paltrow comes up with is a health sensation.
Well, didn't she do something else with her vagina at one point? It was something to do with like an egg or some shit. I can't remember. There was a bunch of dumb
I think
shit.
she poured an egg up it or something and she was like, yeah, this is great for like correcting your pH levels, and it's sort of like, no,
Is that what it was?
You're just smearing an egg. You're smearing an egg on your bits. Like that's not. You don't like besides making like a really like creepy omelet. Like that's all you're doing.
Oh god.
Yeah, I don't remember what that was, but basically, nobody should take her beauty advice seriously. And the one thing I can say,
because she's Gwyneth Paltrow.
Yeah, she is an amazing.
There is a
actress.
team of people behind a wall that their sole job is to make sure that she looks like that.
Yeah, right. But there's also like probably a team of lawyers who are like, how far can you push it without being sued? And I can say with absolute confidence, I know for a fact there is absolutely zero scientific merit to pouring coffee up your ass to cure yourself
or smearing eggs on your bits.
Stupid.
I don't know what the deal with that is. I heard about it. I didn't hear anything more about it after that. I was like, I don't know what. If you want to smear egg all over your bits, like go with God. That's
I think
that's
God
your
wants no
prerogative.
part of this. God
That's
looks at that and just be like, what are you doing?
Yeah,
Why?
I feel like
Eggs are for eating and for making chicken.
Exactly.
I feel like at some point you can make the argument that like it's kind of like you're bordering on like pedophilia, but like I wouldn't know
I think
what
it's
you
just
could do.
gimmicky.
I just
think
wonder,
it's-
like, if say there is an Almighty and he's just looking down on us, when he sees shit like that, he's just like, no, I didn't. What do you stop? Just I made it so clear for all you dickheads down there, and you're butchering it. You're butchering all of it. Stop putting eggs on your bits. They're for food and for making baby chickens. That's it. That's where I draw the fucking
This
line.
happens when you skim read books.
This is what happens when you have too much time and money on your hands. This is all it comes down to. And you're right. People that have this much time on their hands, that aren't being paid to have this much time on their hands, like scientists, are literally paid to sit around and think all day.
Yeah.
And also form hypotheses and do experiments. But mostly to sit around and think about, how to solve a problem, how to make this better. That's their job. Mm-hmm. Your job is to sit in front of a camera and say lines that are printed on a page, and you do it very well. And congratulations to you for being in.
Here's the thing, right? I wouldn't be against it. If Gwyneth was like, I'm also spending my time thinking about these things. But then if she followed the scientific method, if she followed the scientific method and was like, hey, I got this idea for pouring coffee up your ass. Right. If she then followed the scientific method and then wrote a paper and was like, hey, I wrote a paper on this and it turns out it does jack shit. I'd be like, cool. All right. Now we know that. Like that is a thing we know because we passed the muster.
I have a question. How many things did you pour up her ass before she got to coffee and decided to stop?
Mate, I haven't the fucking. I'm
It's
trying
like,
to.
this is what cleared the acne. What cleared the acne?
But was she just walking around the supermarket just getting different liquids off the shelf?
Was she getting an enema?
I want to know if like a warmed up Milo would do the same thing. Did you
is
try
it
that?
What did that Nesquik? Is it
Nesquik.
different? I don't know.
Nesquik could have done it even better.
Ask Gwyneth. She might know.
What about a cold coffee? What about if you got an ice break? Would that help?
No, well that's the thing. It's supposed to be like room temperature coffee,
Not
like
cold drip.
No, not boiling hot coffee.
The same temperature.
She would
as
need
your
a different
body,
rule book for this in Melbourne because there'd be so many different ways you could do it. Because all Melburnians would be so picky about.
That's part of my
Is
confusion.
that a
long-
trade blend? Is that your cruelty free coffee? Is that Sumatran, Javan? Where are we getting this from? Brazil? All the different types.
Well, I just want local from the Yarra. Well, we
Is
don't
it
do
just-
coffee beans in the Yarra.
The climate's
I
too
don't
shit
care.
here.
Make some.
Can I just get a funnel and a flat white from my local and that sort me out? Like, can I do that?
Then just go to your local Bunnings.
Oh my god! You go to a cafe. Would you like? Is that a have here takeaway keep couple funnel?
There's just like a little section where people are like, ass up, heads down. Just like, we'll be with you in a minute. Just clearing up this space right here.
There's a coffee shop in. I don't know if it's still there, but
Lean
there was a
into it.
coffee shop in.
Coffee for me.
No, you can't. It's too good.
There was a coffee shop in Carlton. Do you remember the Seinfeld episode about the soup Nazi?
Yes, yes.
Was it
Basically,
similar?
there's the Carlton equivalent is the coffee Nazi, and it's an old Greek guy who doesn't fuck around. When
No
it comes to
piccolo
coffee.
for you.
No. Basically, you go in there and he's got like 4 guys and they're just straight up manufacturing these coffees, right? And you go in there, you make your order, you get the fuck out of the way. The next person comes along, right?
I need to go here. I like efficiency.
That's what I mean. It is brutally efficient, and if you fuck up that efficiency, he kicks you the fuck out.
God, I should
I'm
work
just
for
trying
this
to
guy.
imagine this guy doing coffee.
It's a bit different.
Spread your cheeks. I said spread them.
Is this sort of like face down, ass up? Let's go. Let's get into it.
You're taking too long. No enema for you.
Yeah,
Move along.
Yeah, all right. It kind of changes. It kind of changes the Little John song. Get low.
Oh my god.
I can't. Like,
Is there any health fads
I'm
that do
so-
kind of that you think are actually like worth looking
I have
into?
honestly
there's a couple.
no idea.
No, there's a couple like intermittent fasting has had.
I'm with you on intermittent fasting.
There's been some scientific result, some studies done, and they're like, yeah, this will work. But at the same time, caloric restriction does the exact same thing. So like, at that point, it just comes down to like take your pick. Like you can do intermittent fasting or you can do caloric restriction, and both will get you where you want to be. It really depends on like which one works for you at that point. But by the way, I just want to preface this: we're three fucking idiots with microphones. Like, what the fuck do we know?
Do not take health advice from us.
Yeah,
we are very unhealthy people.
We are in this room. 2 ex-smokers, 1 current smoker. So, not the best fucking like.
You know who you are.
There.
I mean, everybody knows my
Definitely-
stories about all the drugs I take, and like, don't listen to me.
Definitely problem drinker at some point in my life, if not now. And Lochie, I'm sure you've got other vices.
I'm emotionally unbalanced. It's fine.
There we go. So we just like talking shit about
We're
this
broken
stuff
people.
because at the end of the day, rich people need to shut the fuck up.
Like, there's
oh my
There's
god.
just some things like
If
if you have expertise in it, sure.
yes,
Like
yes,
I'm sure Keanu Reeves actually does know how to build a bike.
dude loves motorbikes, but it was his obsession before he got famous. So that's the thing.
Yeah.
If this was Gwyneth's passion before she got into acting and got fame,
Yeah.
sure.
I love to sit in
Enemas,
my room and pour coffee up my bum.
when she was fucking 16 and broke, sure. And also, you're 40 fucking years old. How do you have acne?
Yeah.
How is that a problem?
Oh no, it can be. So no,
There's
it
adult
is.
acne.
That-
I
I
no,
know there is adult acne, but like, Gwyneth probably doesn't have it. Just saying.
She
Of all-
might.
You never know.
Well,
That's a
this
good
is why
point.
you follow her remedy treatments, so you don't get any
acne
acne.
is actually the number 1 most common skin disease on the planet.
Yeah, I'm sure it's an issue, but proactive exists. A bunch
Oh,
of
dude,
other-
do not. Oh God, no, that's just fucking acid you're pouring on your face at that point. Do not. Oh,
Kendall
fuck no.
Kendall Jenner seems to like it.
Would you?
Is it Kendall or Kylie?
Yeah, she gets paid a fuck ton of money to say she likes it. I guarantee you,
that's a
she's
good
never
point.
touched that shit a day in her life.
Probably.
Right?
Didn't Bieber do a commercial for that as well?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, and then I think Kendall Jenner did the one which always made me laugh because it looked like the vibrator commercials of the 20th century. Have you seen ads for how they used to sell vibrators in the 1800s? Like I'm talking the sex toy. Right.
In the 1800s.
In the 1800s, yeah. So
They
in the
had
1800s,
vibrators?
they had mechanical vibrators. Basically, imagine an egg.
Was it a wind up?
Yeah. Imagine that's the thing. It's a crank thing.
gears?
Yeah, with gears.
Oh my! No,
No, you are fucking with us now.
like-
there is no way.
John, we let you go with a lot of shit over these episodes, but this is the line. We're drawing the line here.
I saw a documentary on SBS about the history of vibrators, and like this was like a thing.
Why would the SBS put this on?
Because SBS play weird
Have you
shit.
ever watched SBS?
Yeah.
Come on,
No,
dude.
fair enough.
This is very on brand for them. But still,
Yeah.
I cannot get over the fact that it sounds to me like a little car. Like, when they used to have to turn over the engines manually in cars.
Yeah.
It's just like you turn over the vibrator. It's like.
No, yeah. So no.
then it's
So
fucking off.
There was nothing electrical in them. It was all 100%
So it's like
mechanical.
you wound it up
You
to a
had to-
point and then like let it go.
No.
and then
You had to keep it. You had to keep cranking.
seems like you're having
a
like
work-
you did. You would actually crank one out. Like that's like that's how you would have to do it. Right. But okay, no. The best way if you
It's
want
now two-handed operations. You got to have like one holding it steady and the other one turning it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
While trying to play. Fucking
Yeah,
hell.
yeah,
While
that's how that
placing.
works.
Yeah, it must have been so hard to masturbate in the 1800s.
Yeah, like so if you want to know what they kind of get an idea of what they looked like, the mechanical egg whisks, you've seen
Yes.
those,
Yes.
the little egg beaters.
Okay, we're going back to
Imagine
eggs
those.
and vaginas here.
I know. It's all coming full circle.
We're teetering.
Right? It's all
Dear Lord.
but like you take the egg beaters off and you put like I don't know, it looks like a flat kind of a Brillo pad type of a thing, right? And that's the bit that goes on your bits, right? And you crank that.
And it swells.
And they move, yeah, and they
Whoa.
vibrate. And like you
It's like a kaleidoscope.
kind of. I don't know. Yeah, I wasn't entirely sure as to the because I only have
I am
Have that
terrified.
image in your head.
terrified
Here's the
about
thing.
what
I've
I'm
only
visualizing.
I've only seen a drawing of it in an ad for it. I've never actually seen a physical one. They have them at a museum in the Netherlands. You can go and
do
look
you
at
have
it.
an idea of what they called it?
No, I just they've
Okay, because I would love to know what the name
but
of
basically,
it is.
but the ads for it, right? In the 20th century, naturally, you couldn't have
Bit
an
too
ad with a
aggressive.
lady like spread eagle saying like "get around it, son."
Well,
no. So what they would have though is they would advertise them as face massages.
Okay, is this like the
like-
whole like oil pour as
Yeah,
a bomb
bombs,
thing?
yeah.
Okay,
Right.
smart,
So
very
what they
smart.
would have is a lady, right, and she would be using it on her cheek. right, as a face massager.
Ooh,
right? Yeah, right. Ooh, this is very lovely. It's very nice, very invigorating.
calming.
Right, yeah. So right,
sensual.
But then
Not
Kylie
too much.
Jenner did an ad for Proactive, and they had this thing, and basically it looked like a pocket rocket that had a soft pad on it.
And she was
that you
just
put-
rubbing
that
it
you
on
s-
her face.
She was
Like-
rubbing it on her face, and I'm like, you're flogging a vibrator the same way they did 100 years ago.
Well, I mean, this just comes back to that fucking shake weight, which I still think was just a joke. someone made that
It
up.
was
right?
paid homage in Taika Waititi's Thor 3.
Yeah, like it was like that had to like
Good
someone
old shake
someone
weights.
along the line. It's like products go through so
Do
many
you think
levels
people
of quality.
actually got muscular
I
strength
have
or anything
no
from
idea.
a shake weight?
I have no idea, but like products like that go through a certain level of quality control. There are certain checks and balances that go into making a product an actual thing. Marketing, you have to look at it. Research and design have to look at it. All these people. Did no one at any point during that product's creation just be like, yeah, it looks like you're jerking something off.
I guarantee. Okay, so having somewhat of an understanding of that process, I guarantee, like a lot of people at some point were like, "This looks like you're just jerking someone off,"
But they couldn't say it.
But they couldn't say it because they'd get fired.
Right.
So
Okay.
they just didn't say anything and let it through because
Same thing with snooker.
with snooker.
It's like jerking someone off from behind. Think about it.
But you're only doing one big motion, like one, like every. Do not disparage snooker in my presence, boy. Yeah, but
love
like,
snooker. It's a great game.
No, exactly. But yeah, I guess you're kind of right. Don't ruin this for me.
I won't. I
but
feel like
yeah,
I'm ruining too many things for you today.
You really are.
Ruined
Eggs
coffee,
and-
God.
eggs and, just so many things. But yeah, like, who in quality control approves this shit? Like, it looks like literally like you're jerking something off. Like, it does my head in.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well, quality control people are just there to make sure nothing will actively kill someone.
it's not going to squirt you in the face.
Yeah, it's not going to kill you. It'll work. Right. That's
It'll work.
Yeah, it'll work.
Quotation.
Yeah. So
Dear Lord.
I actually promise I did actually research a thing for us to talk about. I didn't expect like I just wanted to make a joke about like vagina
And
candles
we talked
being
20 minutes about
I just wanted to
how
make a joke.
health benefits, don't trust them all from everyone. Go to your
Don't
health expert.
put coffee up your bum.
No, don't put coffee up your bum.
That's all we're saying.
That's the takeaway from this.
Don't listen.
Right.
Listen. Don't listen
Kombucha
to
is
Gwyneth.
actually really good for your gut, so feel free to keep drinking kombucha.
Put it in your mouth.
Yeah, don't put it up your bum.
Coffee goes
Put it in your mouth.
Coffee goes in your mouth, not your anus. Right? It's a one-way process.
What about the butt? What about a beer butt chug?
You shouldn't
No.
you shouldn't be doing that either, to be honest.
I mean, it works.
you can do it,
But-
you shouldn't.
It's a great party trick.
I'm never going to a party with you again. Anyway.
There's only one kind of party
Bring it
I
back
would
in
go
funnels
to.
again. That's weird.
Oh, no. So now you're ruining beer bongs for me. How many things can you ruin in one episode?
We'll
for me?
find out. Let's find
get
out right
going.
now.
Yeah.
Did you never watch Jackass 2? Like,
That's what I'm
Steve-O
saying.
does like multiple beer
And then he laughed, and then like it like sprayed into the cameraman's face. Or someone's face, and the cameraman was dying of laughter. Like he's just on the ground, like it's seething with laughter.
I remember
No,
Jackass
didn't
too.
he laugh? He was laughing. He was laughing so
He was
hard.
trying to record it, and he's just like literally dying in his stance, just like trying to get the shot.
No, but he's also super grossed out, so he's like laughing and trying not to puke at the
Vomit,
same
yeah.
time.
God, our brains are weird. How do we go from that to?
I don't know.
I was trying to get off the subject and
All
just,
right,
and just
all right,
say, I promise.
let's move on. Let's just
I
fucking
want to
power
talk.
through.
I want to talk about.
It's like a marathon. It's a big jog.
Yeah, from that, I want to talk about technology.
Yes.
I was doing some research. I was just cruising Reddit, and somebody popped up with like a thing about cryptocurrency,
Again,
Okay.
and it's been making a resurgence recently because. So last year, a lot of people were just like, "Oh, well, it's the cryptocurrency fad is done because the market crashed." Like Bitcoin was at $18,000 bucks, and then it crashed down to like $3,000, right, very quickly. I will say just to like get my own bias out, I lost $30 on the crypto market.
No.
I had $60 invested. It is split between Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, and Ripple, and I lost $30. I was like, oh, big whoop. Right. I didn't even care about it. I just wanted it to have a piece of it because like my mother was in cryptocurrency before I was, and I was like, what the fuck? Okay, I guess I got to do this. Anyway, but it's been starting to make a comeback. It's starting to resurge. I think it's just about to push past 10 grand. And I'm starting to see like people, like the technology kind of like, people are starting to talk about it again and talk about it seriously. And one of the people that are kind of popping up in the news again is Pornhub in relation to cryptocurrency because a
I
couple
thought
of
we were going to go a different way, but anyway.
No, this is Pint Party. Of course I was going to bring it around.
That's
yeah,
fine.
yeah. But just to put it like, and the reason why I bring up Pornhub as well is because we've said it before, but like when it comes to like pushing a technology forward, pornography is often a great like indicator of which way the people are headed, because porn goes where the people are, and you can see that with VHS and Betamax. You can see that with HD DVDs and Blu-rays, and you can because they'll try putting porn on everything, and then like wherever people are buying it is where they'll just push it.
I think PS Vita was probably my favorite.
Yeah, no, it was PSP had one with the
PSP
Universal
one?
Media discs. Yeah, They made one porno in Japan, but with cryptocurrency, a couple of years ago, they started accepting cryptocurrency payments for like buying their premium subscription service, and they used a cryptocurrency that I'd never heard of before called Verge, which is not like the website The Verge. It has nothing to do with that. It's actually a split off, a derivative of Dogecoin. Right? Somebody took the meme coin and was like, no, we're going to make a real cryptocurrency out of this and split it off and called it Verge. Right?
Does it actually have the Doge logo on it?
No. It's a completely separate currency. It's based on. It's called a fork, and there's a whole. You can look up what all of that means. Basically, it's a derivative of Dogecoin. And
It's
it
a little,
runs.
little more market friendly.
It's a little more market friendly. Well, it's more like designed to be taken seriously.
Yes.
Even though the market cap on Dogecoin is $2 billion, it's ridiculous.
Get fucked.
Yeah. Right. It was started. It a
joke.
It wasn't even a joke. It was a protest against cryptocurrency. The guy who started it was like, cryptocurrencies are stupid because literally anybody can make one. Look, I'm going to make one called Dogecoin. It's fucking stupid. And everybody's like, that's funny. I'm going to buy some just for a giggle. And then people started mining it for a giggle. But then like the Chinese miners was like, hang on a minute, everybody's fucking buying and mining this shit. Well, we're going to do it too. And then it got into a real thing because suddenly real people who had real investments started doing it.
Because the internet just takes jokes too far.
Yeah,
The internet wants to watch the world burn.
Yeah, so then somebody went, okay, we're going to fork this and make a derivative of it and call it Verge, and a couple other types of currency coins, Pornhub started to accept, and they were using this platform called Puma Pay, right, to run the whole thing, and basically Puma Pay works the same way like a credit card does in that. It allows for you to effectively charge a subscription service by having people have their chosen cryptocurrency in their crypto wallet through Puma Pay, and then Puma Pay can be like, okay, it's now April 15th, time for your subscription to be paid, and it can pull from your account, right? Where before all cryptocurrencies never had that feature. You could only ever pay out. You couldn't take money from someone's account. You could only put money into it. Where this technology allows you to pull, just like a credit card or something, you can charge it. But recently, the reason why it's come back into the news again is PayPal has stopped accepting charges from Pornhub. So models, the whole, like people who are paying the premium service, people who are buying videos, people who are getting payouts,
shit.
everybody, nobody can use PayPal to do anything with Pornhub anymore.
Well,
That sucks.
Which kind of
Yeah.
sucks. Yeah, on the fifth most visited website on the internet, and there's like a lot of like amateur creators on there who are now suddenly not able to get money from fucking
their work,
right? Because PayPal said no. Now, PayPal's explanation is that they say Pornhub did some improper stuff. They were like making charges when they shouldn't have been and things like that. Pornhub says no, it's a moral issue, and they're against sex workers. Look, I honestly don't know who's right and who's wrong in this instance, but the point is, I feel like
right now you're fucking with people's money.
You're fucking with like it's got nothing to do. Like Pornhub isn't really being affected by this.
You two are both businesses. Yeah, understand this is a bad business decision.
It's the 20-year-old who's jilling for a few bucks a month. That's the person who's being affected by this.
Exactly right. I really want to believe that Pornhub is a very nice company that would not do anything shady to any.
They have high morals in there.
Yeah. No. Have you seen Stoya's blog on it? They are one of the fucking shadiest people out there. That's why they're so successful.
Maybe that's the case. Then. But
Well, it's not them. It's the parent company, MindGeek, which is like super fucking shady.
Okay.
But it all started up from one guy buying up a whole bunch of websites and then
yeah, right.
combined it together.
Pretty much.
Look, when there's money involved, usually there's some form of like shady business practices. So
yeah,
I can believe it on both ends that like maybe Pornhub are doing some dodgy, maybe it is a moral issue for PayPal.
Also,
PayPal run by.
But also, I could see PayPal doing
Christian
No,
sort
in
of
fact,
person?
well,
I
well,
see PayPal doing some shady shit as well. to be
PayPal
honest.
always do shady shit.
I don't actually know who's in charge of it, but it was founded by Peter Thiel and Elon Musk.
Yeah,
And
they sold it
Elon-
early though.
They did sell
Elon
it
got
early.
a nice little payout the other day.
Really?
Yeah, he got a nice little 10 bill overnight.
Well, no, he didn't get the cash. He got options. He was
Sorry.
able to vest.
What
It's
is
the
that?
whole thing.
Because he kept stocks in PayPal.
No.
sorry,
Oh, no.
it's different,
No,
sorry.
he's talking about Tesla stock. That's a whole.
You mentioned
talk
Elon,
about-
and I
look.
just went bang.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, right,
No.
yeah.
Now that you've brought it up, we will. I didn't want to because I didn't want to turn into the Elon Musk hour of power. But like, we will talk about that now that you brought it up. We'll bring that up later on because I want to talk
Hey,
about
it's the
this.
Elon Musk hour of renewable power. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Right. That's right.
Yeah, home batteries. Woo.
Yeah.
$45 for a home bill.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So they've introduced a whole new thing, but the problem with it, and basically they're allowing people to be paid out through cryptocurrency.
Okay, so that's
their work.
that's their workaround.
Yeah. That's one of their workarounds, and they've introduced more cryptocurrencies, but they still don't accept Bitcoin, which everybody's a bit miffed about. And one of the things they've accepted is Tether, which for some reason nobody's talking about. But like, so Tether is an
Isn't
interesting.
Tether super dodgy?
Yeah, Tether is kind of like Tether's got some dodginess surrounding it as well. But also, like, the problem with Tether is that it's a pegged currency, and like that causes some problems in its own right.
E-currency market just seems to be very shady in general.
It kind
Of course it is because it's unregulated.
Yeah,
It's completely like it is like it's
You don't
new-
know if it's real. We don't really know if it's real.
Yeah. Like you don't have Bitcoins.
It's not tangible.
You
Yeah, it's
you just say like you apparently have them somewhere stored on like a hard drive that like transfers data into something that can be traded for goods and services, which is fucking. You explain that to someone from like even 40 years ago, it's gonna blow
hard-
their fucking mind.
If you had to explain that to your
I can
grandparents,
barely explain Bitcoin stuff to myself now. Like cryptocurrency is just like
I'm struggling
get
just
it,
keeping up right now.
but
Ricky.
I don't. Like I understand it.
So
Because like
Yeah.
in this day and age, like even our regular internet banking or like just banking in general
Uses
has become
encrypted.
internet banking, and it's like my money is essentially just numbers on a screen. Like there's nowhere that I don't have a bank account like a lockbox at a bank that has my money in it. I just happen to have money on a screen that says I have this much in my savings. That's it.
Well,
and like that is really not that far removed from what cryptocurrency actually is. Because
Yeah.
it's like it's just something somewhere says you own these numbers, and these numbers mean that it's worth this much. And that's essentially what it is. And that's fucking nuts. Like
These days.
And and especially because it is unregulated.
Yeah.
Like the fact that it's so easy just to like nick it and be like, no, this is mine now. It's essentially like you own it or you have it, so therefore you own it. It's like possession is the entire tense of the law. It's not 9 tenths of the law. It's everything when it comes to crypto. It's like if I have a hard drive with $10 billion worth of crypto on it, it's mine.
Yep.
I might have stolen it off him, but you can't prove that. It's mine now.
Yep.
Like the guy who, after Bitcoin went through the roof and was like worth, like $20,000 a fucking coin, some dude threw out a hard drive.
Yep.
And he went
no.
back to the tip.
Yeah.
It had $500 million
of crypto
worth of crypto on it. A fucking hard drive. Like that
Imagine
doesn't
if,
make sense. But it was real, and it's like it's tangible. If he could have found that hard drive, recovered it, and recovered the
It was
the
never
code
found,
for the
or-
no, he couldn't find it.
Imagine
because it was years ago. Because it was when Bitcoin was worth like fucking $2.
Also,
a
the
coin or
council
some
wouldn't let him go and dig it up.
shit. Yeah, exactly. But like, it's just
probably
that
still
is-
there.
He's pretty well mapped
But that's
out.
if
the
anyone
tip.
else
He's-
went there and fucking dug through the trash at night when no one was looking and found that hard drive, they're gonna be like, "This is mine.
Yep.
This is my money."
Yep.
But you'd have to know you're looking for a hard drive, though. That's the thing.
Yeah. Well, it was massive news. Like,
Why would you let that get out?
I know.
Why would you be like,
I know.
just letting you know there's
No,
a
because,
hard
like,
drive in a tip?
Because he was trying to
that-
drum up sympathy
Yeah.
to put pressure on the council to let him dig it up. That's what he was
Yeah,
going
but you
for.
are just putting a fucking target on that tip,
That's
being
a
like,
spotlight.
guess what? There is essentially $500 million buried in
Lottery
this tip
has
somewhere.
come today, guys.
And whoever has it, it's fucking theirs.
Yep.
Go for it.
Yep.
Like that is crazy. But yeah, like the whole crypto thing, like
Yeah.
I get that it has to stay unregulated in its current form. I don't think you're ever going to find any regulation for it because it is like it does span across, it's cool because it spans across nations and it doesn't matter like,
Now with all Brexit going on, it's going to be interesting to see how cryptocurrency affects all that
Yeah.
kind of.
No, really, it doesn't make really much of a difference.
You don't think it's gonna?
Nah.
don't think it's gonna change much to exchange rates or anything?
Nah.
I don't think it'll change exchange rates. I just think people that are in Britain are going to find different ways to like say, the worst happens and the pound tanks.
Yeah.
Right, because of this situation. if people have invested in crypto, they're like, well, this is more fucking valuable than the pound now. I'm gonna keep putting money into it, like trying to put time and effort into making this bigger.
Yeah.
And then they're probably going to spend more, like try to find ways to use that to, you know, if they need to trade outside of the
trade within the European Union.
Within the European Union, be like, yo, you boys take Bitcoin?
Yeah.
It's brand new.
Yeah. And it's because like, is really like, if what is going to happen with Brexit
we set
happens,
rates, and then they can set the rate.
Yeah, exactly. But if what happens with Brexit which is one of the scenarios, is like the euro fucking skyrockets and the fucking pound tanks, which is a bad scenario, but it's a possible scenario in this situation. We haven't really seen how it's going to pan out.
It's too early to tell.
But if that happens, like, you're going to be looking at Britain being like, fuck, man, because that pound has been strong for a very long time. It is one of the strongest, like, and like most consistent currencies in the world. If they take a dip, that's going to make their economy a little bit shaky. So if you're in there and you are a business that deals with the EU, you might be looking at it and being like, well, this currency is unregulated and it's worth the same everywhere in the world. That's the thing. Yeah. There's no like one Bitcoin in Australia isn't like, it's not a difference to a Bitcoin in America. It's worth the same amount of money.
What the rate is what the rate is.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's like that might be a possible avenue for them in the future
But there is a lot of room for people to take advantage of this.
Exactly. That's the other thing too, because it is unregulated. You're going to have people taking advantage of it. So it's a very dicey thing.
Until Elon figures it out.
Until Elon... I'm going to invest in some Elon coin or some Musk coin.
Just call it Elon. I'll buy it.
Yeah.
I'm actually surprised Elon Musk doesn't have his own cryptocurrency yet.
I'm
sure he fucking surprised.
I'm sure someone has like made one for him, but it's just shit and no one talks about it.
Probably.
Knowing Elon is the fucking meme lord that he is... I'm sure someone's like either created a Musk coin or he's probably going to.
Probably.
Or a Grimes coin or something.
Grimes coin? Wouldn't it be fucking great if like, because like I know crypto's made with like data mining and shit like that, but like wouldn't it be cool if like you could generate Elon coin or whatever the fuck it is, just like doing miles in the Tesla?
There is a coin that does that. It's called Sweat Coin. And it's designed. It's a coin that you mine as you exercise.
Boys, I think we're actually in the future.
God,
I think we can actually say
that is just
we are in 2020, and you can
have enough incentive to work out.
There it is.
Yeah, it's called Sweat Coin. It's an app you can install on your phone. It creates a crypto wallet. I don't know what Sweat Coin's going for these days.
Probably not much.
It's less than a cent, I think.
Well, yeah.
But like
everyone buy it.
Get the fuck on it. Like, get on
Let's
that
make
shit.
it a thing.
But yeah, like if you could like earn money, like driving your renewable energy car around, like the more rotations the wheel does, the more fucking data that it mines, and you eventually get a whole coin out. Like that'd be fucking sick.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like that's something Elon might do with the Tesla network. So once the Tesla network gets going, that's probably how he might manage payments through that platform or something.
I like 100%. Like I feel like unless I don't think any car company is doing it right now, but like I'm pretty sure eventually, like the first car bought with crypto will probably be a Tesla.
No, people have bought. No,
people have bought it.
First car bought with crypto was a Lamborghini.
That makes sense, actually.
Yeah. No.
Was it an influencer?
No. It was a guy. It was a guy who.
A lot of influencers bought a lot of Ferraris, a lot of Lamborghinis.
No, but like it's called mooning, right? Basically, you invest in a coin when it's worth very little, and then it shoots up in price, and then you cash out and you buy a Lambo, right? And it's called a coin going to the moon. But basically, a lot of the early Bitcoin guys. Who got into Bitcoin when it cost 40 Bitcoins to buy a pizza, who were mining these coins. Suddenly they found that they had, instead of having like $10 worth of Bitcoin was suddenly worth $500,000. One of the guys cashed out and bought a Lambo.
Wait. So he cashed out and bought a Lambo.
Yeah,
I'm talking like a full exchange.
So there is a car company. There is a car company in the United States that sells high-end luxury cars that now offers that as a service. You can now buy a Lamborghini. I think the going rate is like 12 Bitcoins.
Okay.
Or it was when I read this article. That was before the crash.
That could have gone up. That could have gone down.
Fuck if I know what they're worth these days. But there is a luxury car company that now accepts Bitcoin.
Okay.
In America, so you can buy a Lambo.
It would have been nice if it was a Tesla.
There was a guy who did it, man.
Yeah.
They know those YouTubers are coming for them.
But
the YouTubers are coming for
all the things that you said about about cryptocurrency and kind of like its difference between it and cash. The funny thing is like Tether, which is dodgy, had a bit of a dodgy go of it, was trying to solve those problems by making a coin that was basically the digital equivalent of the United States dollar. So it's called a pegged currency. So a pegged currency is one where the price of it is set by like a central authority. It's not set by the market.
Okay.
Which is how every other coin on the market works, and also that's how like the Australian dollar works, how the US dollar is they're all floated currencies.
Yeah.
And
This was the one that was going to be like it was going to be universal like across the entire world. Like
okay.
Is this tethered? Like it was going to be one like currency everyone could use.
Yeah.
And it's like the same. It's going to be at the same level
And
wherever
it's set
you
by
are.
like a universal RBA. Essentially.
No. This one, the idea was that like you could have a stable coin that wouldn't fluctuate in price, so that you could use it everywhere all over the world.
Yeah, right.
But
yeah.
basically, everybody would then effectively trade in the digital equivalent of US dollars. So,
Okay.
if you were in say Bolivia and you wanted to buy something in say fucking Spain, and the Spanish were like, yeah, we're going to charge $10 for this. Well, you can pay in 10 tether, and that's exactly the same.
Yeah.
Right,
And
okay.
it didn't matter where you were in the world.
So it kind of just
right?
eliminates that annoying like exchange rate math you got to do in your head. Just like
Which
You
you
just
still-
go off the US dollar.
Yeah, which you
US
still have
dollar.
to do with Bitcoin and stuff, because you go, okay, one Bitcoin is worth $10,000, but what's $10,000 worth in Australian dollars?
Yeah,
There's
right.
a whole thing you got to do.
Okay, so it's like a universal centralized currency that like
Was kind of but it's also
It's a
Okay.
floating rate, so it's,
Yeah.
okay, so it's still going to fluctuate based on like
it'll fluctuate, but
they wanted it off like a third party group. Is
Yeah,
that
right.
what you're saying?
But the
But
idea,
then who's controlling the
but
third party group?
the United States government. That's
That's-
the thing. That's right. That's,
want-
but that's which sounds bad. But here's the thing, when it comes to currency, it means that you've got a relatively stable currency. It's being backed. But
Oh,
even
hang on,
then,
hang on,
if
here's
you're
a-
not
here's a
confident in
question.
that,
Here's a question. All right, so you said World Bank just then. Yeah. What about if say like the UN was in control of it? Would you trust the UN to be in control of a universal slot like currency?
I mean, that's the same as having the US do it. Like, there's no difference at that point. The
UN have
there is difference.
the UN
There is
have
definitely
like
difference.
ideas outside of just what's happening in the USA. That's kind of why we have the UN.
yeah, they can. But the United States, China, Russia, France, and England. I think it's England. Can they're the permanent members of the UN Security Council, which is really the only bit of the UN that actually does anything.
Mm-hmm.
And so anything that actually means anything, they all have veto powers on. So if all of them don't agree to a thing, that's it. It doesn't happen. Which is why, in the early days of Syria breaking down, the US were like, we need to intervene and go and kick out these ISIS boys. And Russia, who was propping up the Assad regime, was like, fuck no, and just kept voting down any security resolution to do with Syria. Right? And was just like, if you bring up any more Syria stuff, we're just going to vote no on literally everything else, including the Save the Babies Fund. Right? It wasn't actually that, but I'm like, that's my point being was that on literally any other resolution, we'll just vote no, and then it'll never happen. You won't get anything through the Security Council. But
Can't we all just get along?
but basically, if you're not
Money.
comfortable with the United States dollar as a currency
universal
tied to
currency?
right.
Well, I mean, right now
Tether-
it's like you can go to a lot of places in the world.
Everyone
and be
converts
like,
back to the US though.
Yeah.
well, and be like, I have US currency, and they'll be like, yeah, fuck it, we'll take it.
Yeah, exactly.
Unless you're like a big Western nation.
Yeah.
Like if you're like Asia, Eastern Europe, places where it's just we have a currency, but it's pretty fucking shit. They'll take US dollars.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
It's not too far away from the reality we have right now.
Does Canada take US dollars in
I
hand?
think they do.
They probably do, especially border towns and stuff. Why wouldn't they?
Yeah. I'm pretty sure they got a pretty standard exchange rate.
It's still called the loonie?
Looney and the Toonie.
So toonies and loonies are $1 and $2 coins.
yeah.
My God.
This is what they call $1 and $2 coins. Yeah.
We think we have fucking
loony is down.
We think we have monopoly fucking money for currency. Theirs is next level.
I
shit.
love our money.
I know.
I love colourful money.
Theirs is all bright pink though.
Yeah, no,
don't.
Canadian
kind of
money
around
looks
that.
like Australian money. It's actually less colourful.
Is it?
Right,
I thought
yeah.
it was bright pink.
It is bright pink, but it's pink and white.
But ours
It's-
has
okay,
patterns
right.
it's pink and
now.
white and blue and white and red and white is
Okay.
basically how it.
Ours has translucent sections in it. It's cool, Ricky. Stay
Ours
with
is
it.
red.
Yeah, where ours is just it's just all one. It's like the whole note is one color.
Yeah.
But if you're not comfortable with Tether with the US dollar, Tether also offers another cryptocurrency called Tether Gold, where it's tied to the value of gold.
Oh, okay.
So
I was
one-
this just sounds like every subscription service ever.
It really does.
You get this, and then you get this gold.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
like Tinder gold.
Yeah, exactly. No,
It's like you want this is the real money. You get access to I can imagine it's like with Tinder you get so many swipes a week, but if you get gold you get unlimited swipes. So it's like if you have Tether you can access half of your money, but if you get Tether Gold you can access all of your money.
Yeah. That's what it sounds like. But no, but its price is set to so one tether is the
not your
value
super.
equivalent of 1 ounce of gold.
Right. Okay.
Which is and
That's
the
not a
thing is as well.
terrible idea, but then who controls the price of gold?
The market, it's a value.
Yeah,
it's
okay.
floated
So,
value.
like-
but also like the thing is that historically the value of gold has always been like continuously like trended positive. It fluctuates based on
Well,
where
I mean, technically, isn't it getting rarer? Gold.
it is,
We
but
keep,
like
we keep using it for stuff.
yeah,
I assume.
but also like
It's on a lot of HDMI cords.
yeah.
Michael, going to Michael.
Gold-plated connectors and
It's all
shit.
being sold to Michael Hill.
But it's also like gold is gold everywhere you go on the
Yeah,
planet.
exactly. Yeah, okay, yeah,
like
yeah.
if you have an ounce of gold in your pocket, it's worth
Someone's
an
gonna
ounce.
see value in
Someone's
it
gonna
somewhere.
buy it from you no matter where you are on the
Yeah,
planet.
yeah, yeah.
So but it also is completely outside of a government because it's a physical metal. Right, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not a piece of paper that says we promise you this is worth $1. No, this is fucking worth real things. It's a real fucking thing you can hold in your hand.
Yeah.
Right.
That's just it's like talking about this, like, because like we seem to have some sort of knowledge of how like a basic financial structure works, kind of. Once again, dudes with microphones don't listen to us. But it just reminds me of that the fucking Rick and Morty episode, season 3 premiere, where Rick breaks into like the centralized government and just like changes like the dollar value of 1 to a 0.
Yep.
And it's like, is that like, could that actually happen? Could there be something where it's just like,
because under the
all of a sudden money is just worth fucking nothing?
if
And
you
it's
think about
believable.
it,
It's
this is
100%
a
believable.
galactic federation where they control everything. Everything is controlled by
Ours is
them.
called America.
So therefore, if you change their
If you make their money worthless, then there is like no measuring stick for like our dollar versus the US dollar. So
Exactly
our
right.
dollar is worth fucking whatever. It doesn't matter anymore. Like I wonder if there is like obviously it's not going to be on a huge computer screen like on the TV show, but like if you were to say like, and it kind of happened with the 2008 fucking stock market crash. It was like essentially
that was a housing market issue, right?
Yeah, I know, but like because it's such a big issue,
Floating
because
currency
housing,
issue.
because housing is such a huge market and it takes up like these are not small loans, these are massive loans people are taking out and multiple of them. It's like it essentially like took that one value that an American dollar is worth and like crushed it. And then like that crushed everything else. So it's like it's a feasible thing. Like it's obviously represented on a cartoon in like just you change a 1 to a 0.
And
But
then-
like we got fucking close with that.
props to Kevin Rudd though for keeping us out of recession during that time.
Yes. The
well,
only fucking country that escaped the recession, mind you.
Yeah, well, also
Labour.
part of the reason is that it wasn't Kevin Rudd didn't actually do as much as people thought. We didn't deregulate our banks, right?
Yeah.
Our banks had
They all
laws
paid us
saying, "Hey,
out.
you can't do shady shit." So when all the other banks went belly up for doing shady shit, none of the banks here were doing shady shit, so they didn't go belly up. What Kevin Rudd did was create consumer confidence in the banks by saying, "Hey, listen,
Spending.
the banks didn't do shady shit. They're all good." And everybody was like, "Fuck that! Banks do shady shit every day." And Kevin Rudd was like, "Okay, fuck it. Here's $1,000. Go and fucking spend."
I forgot.
Right?
I forgot that was the program they did. They
Yeah,
gave
the stimulus package.
They gave everyone $1,000
Yeah,
to
yeah,
spend.
yeah. That's what I got my Xbox 360 on. That's why I call it my Rudd box. But like, yeah,
I
that's-
didn't get it.
But
A lot of people would have spent that on grog and food, I'm sure.
but that was the point. That was the whole point of it. The whole point of it
It's
was
boost the
The grog and
economy.
food goes back into the nation.
it goes back. That's the whole point. It was just to put money into the economy to
thi-
keep everything ticking over.
Exactly right. In that moment in time, Australia is a car and it's broken down.
Yeah.
And this $1,000 was a way to re-inject and get that car started again.
Not even that. The car didn't even break down. Right. The car didn't.
Stalled? It stalled.
It stalled, right? The car stalled, but then the way you start the car again is to just push the gas pedal a couple times,
Inject it.
turn the ignition.
Get that injection in.
Right, that's all you had to do. Yeah, all right, that's all it needed. Well, it's not even that. The car got dirty, and people were worried the car was fucked because the car was dirty. So Kevin Rudd came along and just hit it with a power washer, and he was like, "Yeah, look, it's all good." Right, look, car shiny again. That's all he did. So, but
It's a very smart scheme, let's be honest.
Yeah, no, it was. I mean, yeah, give everybody some money, let it all flow through. Yeah, no, it's classic Keynesian economics. But like the question being with the cryptocurrency thing and pornography, my question was, will this lead?
That's where this stemmed
That's
from.
where this started from. That's right.
As with most major topics on Pint Party, it stems from porn.
Yep. Yep.
We start with porn and work out.
Yeah.
Yep. So my question is, will this lead to a larger adoption of cryptocurrency? Because the problem with
It's situational.
the problem with the way it's all set up at the moment with this with them introducing Tether as a payment option and stuff like that for models to get paid out is that in order for them to do that, they have to set up a cryptocurrency wallet, and that's a whole thing they got to do. And like that's a lot of technical. It requires a bit of technical know-how to get all that shit going. Even though, like for the most part, like to get the basics set up, all you need to do is download a browser extension for Google Chrome and you're good to go. But anybody who's anybody will tell you that is not where you should keep your money. It's like that's how you can get the money to you,
Stolen.
but then you should that's how you can get paid to. It's like that's like your letterbox, but then you should immediately move the money out of that into cold storage or into a more secure form, right? Because you do not want to keep it there.
Encrypted hard drive.
Yeah, right. An encrypted cold storage hard drive or something like that. But the problem is that requires a bit more technical knowledge than most ordinary people have. Yeah. So that might cause some problems with technological adaptation.
I'm sure there's like a YouTube tutorial or something.
I mean, there is.
I'm sure there's a channel. There's a channel for everything.
There is.
Probably.
Welcome back to Crypto Hour.
Yeah, but I mean, have you seen the way people interact with technology? Like understanding that there's a tutorial somewhere requires a level of technical knowledge that most people don't have.
Most of these models on Pornhub are, Gen Z, Zoomers, or whatever we're calling them these days.
Yeah.
They absorb knowledge quick. They learn on the fly.
That's true.
They're very adaptable. And also the guys in it that are fucking
We touched type when we were 6, boy.
Exactly.
You know what's up?
Yes, exactly. These girls have to not only type but like finger bash themselves at the same time and like say thank you for the donation.
And they're probably tweeting at the same time.
They are the kings of multitasking.
They are marketing, doing their job, and preparing for the future
That's true.
all at the same time.
And they have to understand.
And you don't trust them to do some crypto. I think they can do some crypto. I think they can handle some crypto.
Let's get some TAFE courses going.
Yeah,
that's free TAFE for Pornhub models to learn how to fucking encrypt crypto and, continue to take that dick like they like. I mean, that's all we want out of this. We just want them to get paid for the work,
It's all
the hard
cyclical.
work
It's all cyclical.
that they do because, my God, where would we be without them?
Right, exactly. Well,
Back with my imagination.
I'd be really bored on my days off.
No. See, none of this affects Lochie at all. Lochie's good,
No.
right?
Me, I need something to rev the edge.
It's that cryptocurrency that really gets me going.
But I think that this is a case where actually the porn industry is hitting just at a good peak or even lagging a little bit behind the market because we've had the crypto up and down of the last couple of years where it spiked out of nowhere and now it's kind of settled. Like you said, we've already had major car dealerships taking crypto as payment. I think this is a case of maybe the porn industry just either hitting the market at the right time or maybe even being so we're not going to dictate the trend this time. We're going to follow the trend because it feels like if this is only a recent kind of thing, we've had plenty of other industries that have already sort of adopted crypto as a legitimate thing in the past probably 5 years. I reckon it's been a thing.
Yeah.
But honestly, it could only just be the porn industry's doing it now. Now everyone fucking gets on top of it. You go down to Woolies, you pay with crypto at the supermarket. Could be seeing that in 5 to 10 years.
All it takes is for everyone to be like, that is a good idea.
It's literally that. Yeah. That's how money works. I reckon everybody agrees that's how we're going to get paid. That's how it works.
This is a case of porn riding the wave. The wave hasn't crested yet, but they're getting on pretty.
It's building.
So when it does crest, and when we get that real big surge of crypto,
the swells are coming.
Fully mainstream. When my parents ask me about crypto, then we'll know that it's hit mainstream because they only watch mainstream stuff.
Like I said, the reason why I started looking into cryptos is because my mum was into it. That's how. So my mum, she was doing she had a little side business making products out of hemp. And she would buy the hemp. She would buy it properly, ethically sourced from Eastern Europe where it grows naturally. And she would import it and then make her products. And then she used to sell them. She had a business relationship with someone in Canada who would like to buy her products. And the way that all those transactions worked was over Bitcoin. Really? So she would pay the Polish people in Bitcoin, and then the Canadians would pay her in Bitcoin, and the whole thing just moved that way. And for her, I was like, but I mean, it's a super volatile currency. How do you feel about it moving up and down? And she's like, yeah, you just take it on a day by day basis. Some days you win, some days you lose, and and she was like, yeah, you just take it as it comes. And at the time though, especially the way the market was fluctuating, it was moving
so rapidly,
but also in the amounts that she was dealing with, you might be only losing a couple of bucks. Right. She that business kind of wrapped up before the crash. So, I mean, it didn't really affect her that much. And she had it all. And I was like, shit, my 50-year-old mother has fucking Bitcoin, and I'm sitting here being like, how the fuck does any of that work? And that's when I started researching crypto.
I need to know this shit.
I was like, I need to know this shit. All right, yeah. But so before we wrap up today, you mentioned Elon Musk and the way he got paid. So basically, Elon doesn't get a salary from Tesla. He doesn't get a paycheck from Tesla. Right? He's on a performance award system which basically means
Did he organise this
Hang
himself?
on. Yeah, who judges the performance?
it's all.
I'm saying it'd be like the
I did good.
shareholders.
No. The market does, and it's all laid out in the contract how it all works. So basically, he gets paid out at certain milestones. So and it's based on the market value of the company, which is like public knowledge. Everybody can see that. So basically, like who judges it? Well, everybody can see. Oh, he gets paid when Tesla's worth $250 million. Well, everybody knows it's worth $250 million because that's the way stock market works, right? So boom, he gets paid, and it's also tied to technical milestones. So Tesla has to be outputting so many cars per week and stuff like that as well. And so once he meets all of these, and it has to all happen within a certain period of time as well.
Yeah.
So once he meets these milestones, he gets a certain number of stock options, which can then be vested, right? And those options effectively keep increasing in value as he meets his targets. Okay. So when he started, when the deal was put in place,
36% in 2 days.
Yeah,
Tesla
stock has gone up
Fucking
36%.
What have they done?
Well, they have. It was. I'm not sure because I know there was the home battery, but I don't think that's all the hubbub. I think it's talking about the broadband.
That's through SpaceX. That's Starlink. No. What caused the 36% jump though was the fact that Elon met one of his targets, which was to increase Tesla's market value to $250 million.
So the market value went up because the market value went up.
Basically, yeah. The stock market is literally fucking gambling.
It would have naturally fluctuated anyway.
Yeah, it's literally fucking gambling. But also there were articles. There were articles that went out that because there's also a whole community of Tesla people who are called Tesla short sellers, so people who bet against Tesla, and they're like a whole fucking community in and of themselves, right? And basically there were lots of articles saying, "Whoa, the short sellers just got fucked," right? And everybody was like, "Yeah, they got fucked. Fuck you," and then they started buying Teslas. Like, buy, right?
No. It's worth $727.40.
Yeah.
Per stock.
Man.
It's the second most valuable car company on the planet.
They're not even a car company anymore.
Toyota's the first. Yeah, Toyota's the most valuable, but not by much. Toyota, I think, is sitting at $300 to $400 million, right? And you got to remember,
Million or billion?
Billion. Sorry.
Okay, I was going to say
no, million. No, million.
Wait, what?
No, wait. Yeah, because Tesla's worth 250. Fuck.
You said like 3 or 4 million.
Fuck me. Is it?
Yeah, so it might have been
Tesla. Fucking
recently. Tesla brought out the Powerwall battery.
Yeah,
they've been working on it in R&D for last couple of years. And
because
I know that the first figures have come out for the first Australian home buyers who had one installed, and it went from like a $400 around about annual bill to $45.
Sorry, billion. My bad.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, it's 300 or 400 billion is Toyota, and then Tesla is second at 164 billion.
Yeah. You didn't say 100. You just said 3 or 4 million, and I'm like, that seems low for a car company.
Yeah, sorry, no, billion. My bad.
That's all good.
And then Ford, General Motors, and what's the fucking third one? Is it Chrysler?
Yeah, Ford, General Motors, Chrysler
combined aren't even worth as much as Tesla.
No, they wouldn't be because they barely manufacture anymore.
So
I just get cars from Europe and rebadge them.
Yeah, so basically,
that's a come up.
Yeah, as he meets these targets, like that's when he gets paid out. And at the time when the deal was set, he would have been paid out a total, I think, of something like fucking $55 billion.
Modest amount.
Which is a modest amount, a small amount. But now, at the end of the 12 years, it's expected he could get paid out it's like triple that, right? Or something stupid.
I can buy the world.
Yeah, like he could get Bezos levels of money in 12 years.
Oh my.
All right. Yeah.
That's scary.
No one needs Bezos levels of money.
Yeah. So that's
It's like this. Like when you said like you got on a performance base, I was thinking just like when like guys like Bob Iger who runs Disney, they get like a performance bonus. I'm like, he runs Disney.
Yeah.
Who sets the fucking performance parameters? Probably him.
Yeah. No. This was an agreement he made with the shareholders of Tesla.
Yeah, right.
Right. To be like, here's how my compensation package works. He doesn't get a weekly paycheck. That's what I'm saying. Like,
he rides out for the big ones.
Whereas head of Disney,
does he have like a base salary at the start of the year, or he just gets paid in these bonuses?
I think technically, I think he does, but I think it's $1. Like it's just like it's there because for legal reasons you have to.
I'd say it'd be the same with Mark.
Like he gets paid $1 a year.
It's a fucking dollar or some shit.
Yeah.
But it's
Mark
effectively
Zuckerberg, isn't
zero.
Zuckerberg gets $1 a year?
Zuckerberg gets $1 a year.
Yeah, Zuckerberg gets that too. I think he was the first one to do it.
Yeah,
he was like, I get paid $1 a year. It's like, but you also have like $10 billion in
your
stock options.
Your stock value is like fucked.
Yeah,
Your liquid is fucking way more.
Yeah,
than
your
that,
liquidity is ridiculous.
Yeah.
And that's the way like Elon's going on a scaling system where like he gets more and more stock options that he can vest, or they get vested as he like meets certain milestones, which are all like totally like with the exception of like the technical milestones of like output is at X level, but like that's information shareholders can access who can then verify and say, yes, you met that, we will give you this, like we will honor this part of the contract. But like market value shit is just sort of like it's public knowledge. So if he meets those, everybody can see. Yeah.
So much money.
Yeah, so he's like making.
We need Elon though.
As he meets
Elon's
those
going to
goals.
save the world.
I know we need Elon, but Elon doesn't need that much money. Elon, I reckon Elon would be happy with just like a couple mil.
He just puts it in an Olympic swimming pool and jumps in it. That's all he does with money.
He does the Scrooge McDuck. It's what he does.
Honestly, if he was, he would be a person that would buy an island, put a bunch of people on it, and just have his own hunting island. He could recreate the most dangerous game, and everyone wouldn't really care about it because it's Elon
He
Musk.
seems like he could go two ways. He seems like he could go, the
villain?
hunting of the most dangerous game. Or he feels like the guy, like he gets that stock option, he gets paid out, and then he just puts it straight back into the company, and he's like, I got a couple mil in the bank. That's all I need.
That's basically what he's been doing, though.
I feel like that's the kind of guy that he is. He doesn't need. He doesn't desire.
He wants to build a Death
massive
Star.
amounts of wealth like Bezos seems to.
No,
he's the kind of guy that's just like, I got all this money, but I want to do something with it.
That's it. I think what he's doing though is it's sort of like he wants to build wealth, not just have liquid assets.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So every time, because like that's what he did with Tesla. He would take money out of Tesla, pour it into SpaceX as he was making it, and now it's the other way around. Now because SpaceX makes more than Tesla does.
Yeah.
Because it's got its commercial rocketry program going pretty good.
But how do you get that up so
commercial
easily?
rocketry? But we are in the future. We're in the future. There is a commercial rocket service.
Here's the thing where I
there
knew
are
you can book a charter flight to Mars soon. It'll be fine.
Here's the thing. Here's how I thought when I realized we were in the future. Because last week, I think it was last week or the week before, SpaceX has been doing a lot of launches recently for Starlink, their satellite internet thing, right?
Yeah.
And they're putting up 60 satellites in a go.
He's going to fix the internet.
And they're put on. So basically, the satellites are being put onto Falcon 9 rockets, which is the classic, the single rocket design that comes up and comes back down, right? Yeah. And the fact that and you can watch the live streams for those every time they do a launch, and they've got it's a full fucking professional production. It's great if you really want to learn about rocketry. Watch one of those because they'll explain all the technical stuff about what's going on. But as the thing took off, they were like, oh, yep, and now the thing's going to do its burn, it's going to come back down, it's going to land. I remember when trying to get the fucking thing to land was an absolute pain in the ass. When it was
everyone's crossing fingers.
Yeah, everyone's crossing fingers, and it's like,
is it going to
do it? Yeah. It didn't do it. Oh, yeah, it did it. Yeah. And I remember it was a literal coin flip on whether it was going to do it. And now they're like, yeah, we did it 193 times. I'm like, you did it 100. What?
Good for you, buddy.
Yeah.
Whoa. It's that's impressive.
Now nobody cares. It's of course they're going to land.
I think if you go back to say the 70s or 80s where they were like,
no, but this was 3 years ago. We were how's it going to land?
I'm saying, I think
it's like watching a little kid tie up their shoelaces. You could do it. Well done.
If you can go to the past and say we are now recycling rockets.
Yeah.
And they're just like, huh?
Yeah.
It's like, we're recycling the mother.
We don't break ours.
The future.
Yeah.
We no longer have single-use rockets. We have reusable rockets.
Mostly reusable.
Rockets.
The second stage component is still being destroyed, but we now have the fairings are recoverable, which is the bit that holds the satellites.
Yeah.
Right. That bit now is recoverable.
There you go.
Which is a big thing. So most of the rocket is recyclable, right? Except for the bit that actually floats off into space to that then pushes it out into the orbit. That bit's still not recoverable. But it's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time.
You got to break some eggs.
Elon's just making life so interesting for everybody.
Oh, he's a blessing.
And the Starlink program could be coming to Australia pretty soon because it just got approved by the ACMA for. So it hasn't got a license yet to a communications license. What they have got is approval to be on the Foreign Object Register, basically saying, okay, you're a satellite and you're going to be broadcasting at this frequency in Australia. Yeah, you're all good to do that.
And we won't shoot you out of the sky.
Yeah, right. Or we won't sue you for it and fine you for it because somebody else is using that bit of the frequency. Which, by the way, the way it works is you put a submission into the ACMA, the Australian Communications and Media Authority, and people are like, hey, do you want to does anybody have a complaint about this? You know who complained? fucking Foxtel. They were like, hang on a minute, buddy, you can't be doing that. Right?
I wonder why.
Fuck off, Foxtel.
And then the
I
ACMA.
don't want your go. Get out of here.
Right. And then the ACMA was like, nah, bro, you're all good. And so then Elon's like, sweet. So yeah, that's
I just want to be able to watch YouTube and be downloading something at the same time. Is that
bro,
too much to
I
ask?
just want to have a FAP at 4K. That's all I
Is
want.
that too much to ask?
Right?
We are Pint Party.
Tweet
We
Elon.
gotta bring it back down.
Tweet Elon at Elon Musk. When can I FAP at 4K in Australia? Like
Yeah.
when?
Let me know.
Let me know. Elon, hit me up,
Bruh.
bruh.
Brett, you need to make this happen. Brett.
And with that, we'll leave it there. I want to thank my guests for.
It was like a wide variety of topics, and I really enjoyed that.
Yeah.
This year we're doing very broader subjects. I
That's
like
good,
it.
yeah.
Well, I tried to strike a compromise, right? I tried to strike a compromise between Lochie. I know you wanted to go a lot more like intellectual and stimulating, while at the same
I like
time
to challenge
being like,
myself.
let's make bum and fart jokes. And I thought cryptocurrency and pornography strikes
Perfect.
the line. It
That
strikes the line.
We need to make a fucking shirt that is like Pint Party, cryptocurrency and porno.
Cryptocurrency and cocks. We got everything.
Come for the porno, stay for the crypto. Yeah.
Right? Yeah, we should absolutely make that shirt. I want to thank my guests for joining me today. Lochie and Ricki, thank you boys for joining me.
Pleasure.
Thank
as
you.
always.
Yeah. If you like this episode, please tell a friend about it. Especially, I feel like, we get better at this every time we do it. We really do. I feel like,
Yes.
every week I'm like, oh, you should absolutely recommend this episode. And I truly, truly mean it in that week because we just get better every time we do it. And like, people like, oh, humble brag. Like, look, I think repetition, and practice makes perfect. And I think we're getting better and better and better at what we do. So I think, like, more than ever, this episode is like the one people should recommend to people and be like, hey, you should, check
this a
out.
go.
And please, also, if we're on Spotify and we're on iTunes, if you're on either of those platforms or wherever you like to listen to podcasts, please hit the subscribe button. It really, really helps us out. It really helps us with with algorithms and recommending us to new people and stuff, as well as you telling your friends. By all means, please tell your friends, get on their Spotifys and get them to download an episode. Get them to download the most recent episode too. If the question ever comes up, oh, which episode should I start on? Just be like, mate, just get on the most
latest
recent
one.
Not episode 6.
Not as long as it's not episode 6.
They come out every week.
They come out every week.
They do.
You can jump on the most recent episode, mate, and you're all good,
Yep.
right? Because for the most part, if there's ever a gimmick, we'll explain it, right? And be like, oh yeah, a couple of weeks ago we said X, right? And then if you want to, then you can go back and listen to that episode, and it literally doesn't matter.
You
You're
just
you're
pulled
being
Ricki
spoiled.
out of it. You threw him back in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's 2020. Tell 2 friends.
2020, tell 2 friends.
Tell 2 friends.
And with that, this has been Pint Party. Cheers.
Cheers.
This is a Hard Effect Network podcast. Find us at hardeffectstudios.com.au.